Lions losing to Green Bay. The Lions have now lost Frank Ragnow
for a second time.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the YouTube to kick in.
More like Frank later.
So stupid.
All right, we're live on YouTube.
I love it.
What's popping?
We're
live on YouTube.
What happened? What's happened? It's crazy.
We're in the dealsandthed.com studios. We just had a little echo, but we're fine. And Eli is brought to you by Dr. Yaldo.
You know, you start with the fanaticism and passion of fans. And according to Kirk Herbstreit, last year this time, Ryan Day hired armed guards to protect his house from an angry fan base that wanted him fired. Now he's the toast of Columbus with a national title, 16 straight wins. This time last year, Sharon Moore was on top of the world. Stunning Ohio State 13-10. Come on in Columbus. And now the Colt is howling today. Moore is a chump change buyout of $15 million, and Wolverine fans want him gone. So a lot can change in a year.
Already they want him gone?
Oh, there's been a lot of people that want him gone. I mean, no seat is going to be hotter than his next year.
Is he going to be back next year?
Oh, I think so. Only because this coaching carousel is pretty wild right now. It's a little too late to jump in.
And what is somewhat telling, I think, is that Jim Harbaugh took a lot of coaches with him, but not Sharon Moore. He's still there. Obviously, he didn't think he'd help them with the Chargers. So anyway, Michigan got to 9-3. They escaped with wins over a lot of mediocre teams like Purdue, Nebraska, Northwestern, and yesterday.
What was their best win this year?
Washington, probably.
Yeah, which was
if they had last year's schedule, they'd have 5 losses again. Yeah. If they have next year's schedule, they'd probably have 5 losses.
Was Washington ranked?
I think maybe for a minute during the year, but not at the end. No, they're not ranked. They played for the championship last year. What an awful game. And I tell you, I don't know about you, Mark, but I feel like a stupid idiot for getting emotional. And I actually bet on Michigan yesterday, and I'm sitting there watching that endless, sloppy, boring, slobbering pregame show, and I said, really? Why did I do this? They're down to a third-string running back, although Brandon Marshall did play for a minute at least. They got a quarterback who's a Heisman candidate and they let him sit for a year and learn while Michigan throws a freshman out there clearly is not ready, and they don't trust him. They don't let him pass.
Well, they don't trust him after 11 games. They don't trust him.
They don't trust him. And Moore is playing with a 1960s style Bo Schembechler would be proud of, except he doesn't have the offensive line and the running back. So in other words, you're going to have a running attack with a third string running back who's a walk-on freshman as your key back. And so it was just, I sit there saying, how can I get emotional at this point in my life and make a dumb bet? So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the rest that's in my DraftKings account. I'm going to put it on Frank
Chase.
On Anthony Joshua to destroy Jake Paul on December 19th. Now that's a sure bet. Everything else is speculative. That's a sure bet. But
that's what you need when you're chasing. You need a sure thing.
Yes.
Don't I know it?
That's right. Anyway, Michigan had about 3 good minutes yesterday, and the rest was just very disastrous, very sad. Ohio State was just better in every phase of the game. Moore got outcoached. Imagine our wide receiver, our number one wide receiver, Andrew Marsh, wasn't even targeted.
Yeah,
our wide receivers caught a total of 3 passes. So it was like Moore was coaching not to lose, but I think it was pretty obvious.
Not only that, but I just baffles me when head coaches don't know when to call timeout, right? Why would you call a timeout with 2:03 with the clock winding down and Ohio State not lined up?
That made no sense.
Does he not know you get a 2-minute, they called it a 2-minute timeout, not a 2-minute warning? Like, that was just baffling.
But then he didn't use the other one.
He didn't use the other one at all. So it's like, they're getting the ball. You got to, he just lacks a certain aggressiveness in general. He likes the smashing. We all like smash, right? We like running the ball. That is their identity. But there's still a very big lack of aggression.
But I thought the reason they got this quarterback was they want a passing attack.
They
go with their running game.
They do, but he's not ready. So why not do
how can Texas, he be not ready after 11 games?
I wonder why didn't they do what Texas did with Arch Manning? Why didn't they do with Ohio State with Julian Sayin? You have him sit and watch and learn and go to practice.
Who are you going to play?
The game.
He's still better than anything else they have.
What about the portal?
So why did they get a backup quarterback that they trusted to develop.
They got two. They got two that transferred in.
Let me ask you something. Doesn't it seem like a lot of the best quarterbacks are portal guys?
Of course.
Like Pavia.
Yeah.
Or who's the guy at Ole Miss from Ferris State or something?
Right. Yeah. Chambliss. Trinity.
Everyone missed on him.
Yeah, but no, you're right. Fernando Mendoza.
I mean, you've got $3 million in a guy that you haven't seen play college football.
My favorite transfer, Chandler Morris, the UVA quarterback, who is on his fourth school in 5 years.
How about Beck at Miami?
How about Sam Levitt?
So they did bring in two transfer quarterbacks, right?
Yeah, Mikey something or other.
Mikey Keene and then Garcia, the guy that used to play at Miami and was at Eastern Carolina. Yeah. So granted, they're not the guys you want, but it is quite possible that he's still better than those guys.
So, who's going to, they're probably going to bring more back. Here's an example. Since you mentioned Pavia, Charlie Lee, L-E-A, I believe it's pronounced Lee, first-time coach taking over Vandy in 21. Yep. He had never coached before. He had just been an assistant coach in college. He went 2-10 last year, though 7-6. This year, 10-2. Vandy's one of the greatest stories in all of sports, and they upset in college sports. They upset Tennessee yesterday. How about Bob Chesney at James Madison? Took over for Kurt Cignetti. He's 11-1 with 10 straight wins. His team has scored 54 times and 61. So take a guy like that and elevate him. And it's just really.
I have a stupid question. You had a lot of games this year where, Michigan, they're going to win those games. Some of them Northwestern was tough, but they
barely
Maryland.
Snuck by Purdue.
Why not air the ball out in some of those games?
Of course.
Yeah, they did. I think the only one they did was Central, which whoopee.
Yeah, he had a couple of good games. He had the opener against New Mexico. He pitched.
They aired it out a little bit against Northwestern. Yeah, Marsh had a shit ton of yards.
Would they throw 28 passes?
Yeah, that was his best
also
game.
Isn't their identity,
right?
I know, but if you look at, I was looking at some of the other quarterbacks in these good team. Pavia, Beck. I looked at the Pittsburgh guy because he's a freshman. He's thrown for 423, 304, 323, 304. The Ohio State guy's thrown for 393, 316, 347, 326. CJ Carr threw for 354, 342, 299. The Bama guy, 382, 340, 326. Morton at Texas Tech, 464, 345. Reed at A&M, 439, 360. Arch Manning threw for 389, 325. I mean, you have to air it out sometimes, but it seems like Michigan. When's the last time Michigan aired it out?
You have stats that are far worse than the ones that I use.
At one point, by the second or third time, that Underwood checked down and threw it through hard passes that his backs couldn't even catch. And Klatt showed how if he had waited another second, his receiver would have broken into the open. But he panicked too fast. He panicked and he he's
a true freshman. He's just not that good right now. He better be next year, period. Yeah. And I don't know.
Well, I don't know
if Moore is the guy who's going to grow him. That's the problem. Right. Or Lindsey.
In fact,
shouldn't they pluck somebody in the portal though?
I don't believe they have a quarterback. My brother-in-law was saying they didn't even have a quarterback coach. They don't have a quarterback coach to even, or else maybe.
Is your brother in quarterback meetings too?
No. But you know what? He's a Wolverine maniac, and he's on all these. He pays money to join these websites where apparently you got bloggers that have access, and he said gets all this information. But certain images just stand out, like Marshall walking off holding his shoulder. Oh. It was pretty obvious that it was going to be over after that. Then you get the brainless headbutt by Barham. I mean, the most idiotic thing a player of that caliber could possibly do. He's lucky he didn't get kicked out of the game. Now, the end zone bobble by Jeremiah Smith would have given him a chance to get back in the game, but that didn't make it. And then it's interesting. So it's 17-9 in the third quarter. And they start, and Klatt says, Moore certainly told his kids, you're only down 8. One big play and you're back. And you're right back in it despite the difficulties. On the very next play, 4th and 5, Sayan throws the touchdown pass that basically puts the game out of reach. So anyway.
That's the problem, too, when they get down by 2 scores. It's like, this team can't come back from that.
No. It was
not in the snow, but.
Pretty much. At that point.
But they were throwing the ball. You can throw the ball in the snow.
Well, they did because he had time. Nobody got near.
I don't think that team can.
Well, I think if he gave him more time, he could, but he was under pressure, and he can't handle the pressure at this stage of his career. And Julian Sayin had plenty of time to throw. So both lines were better. They got 5 All-Americans. I'm sitting there saying they got 5 All-Americans, and first-round draft picks. They got 2 incredible receivers. They got this freshman quarterback or sophomore quarterback, whatever he is, Heisman candidate. They got 2 great offensive lines. Ryan Day's a good coach. No matter what you want to say about him, he's a good coach. They have
a lot of talent. They're very deep.
Yeah.
Right. They just have a lot. Michigan was rolling out 2 defensive backs that are true freshmen too.
Yeah.
And they
is
got
Michigan's offensive line that bad?
I maintain, I've said this all year, I think they're a good run blocking offensive line, but they have not been able to pass block. Look at the Oklahoma game when they kept blitzing those ends. They can't pass block.
And their run defense isn't that great. They lost Mason Graham. And what was the other guy was the first round draft? Grant. Yeah. So anyway,
I was having fun on Twitter because the Ohio State fans were coming at me hard. Somebody called me a chud.
What's that mean?
Good luck with Vagina Tech. And then when I was making fun of the guy who took his helmet off to go, pose in the end zone.
Yeah.
The interception,
And I said, I just turned on the game. This guy must be the MVP, right? And the Ohio State fans did not like that.
Did you watch any of the pregame show? I tried. They drive me. When
I saw Charles Woodson talk about why Michigan was going to win.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, well, of course you're going to say that. And
you don't know. You're not in the locker room. I've been in that game 4 times.
I thought the Brady and Derek Jeter was interesting, but why is Derek Jeter never went to Michigan?
One semester.
Did he actually go for a semester? Okay,
all right. I believe
so. I guess that qualifies.
Do we have the Tom Brady? Why you look different? By the way,
sure.
Some people are saying Tom Brady doesn't look like Tom Brady
There's
anymore.
Several pictures of him not looking.
He was a bit unshaven yesterday.
You see the one I sent you, Brandon?
That one
he
right
looks
there.
really
He
weird.
looks
There
bizarre.
it is. Does that look like Tom Brady?
Yeah, it does. It looks like Brady. He just didn't shave. That's all.
Just got a silly hat on.
Some people are saying he's had work done.
Oh, I tell you, speaking of work, Brady's much better this year. I'm impressed with him, and they send him everywhere. Now I know why they pay him $37.5 million. He represents everything. He's at every Fox event. They send him to every sport. They're really working him. And I tell you,
he looks like a guy that doesn't know what to do with himself.
He's
not playing.
He probably represents 10 companies, he's done tons of commercials, and his promos for Fox show that he could get in Peyton Manning's league, who's the ultimate ex-jock, who has exposure representing companies. He's got a sense of humor. This Fox promo spot, the first time I saw it, really made me laugh. And I said, Brady's got some. You got that, Brandon?
The promo, the commercial?
The commercial, yeah. This is.
If Jerry knew football the way Tom Brady knows football, he would in no way be able to handle it. Tom Brady knowledge is 10 pounds of football in a 5-pound bag of Jerry.
Jer, don't forget to marinate the wings.
What? Release the penguin from a bird cage. It still won't fly.
Gotta look off the safety before when the safety rotates down. Just rip the seam. It's not that hard.
Nobody knows football.
Wow, you better.
Like Tom Brady.
It's not that hard.
And then he does another one where he says, "Are these for free?"
Oh, the mugs.
That's just very, very funny. So he's everywhere. By the way, what was an Ohio State game a couple weeks ago? He's so ubiquitous on Fox that the announcers throw him in. Play another one, Brandon, from I believe it was an earlier Ohio State game.
And what does Tom Brady tell us in the commercial?
Just rip the seam.
When the safety goes away, rip the seam. It's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
It's not that hard, he said. These copy mugs free? Yes, they are for you.
Anyway, it's I give him credit. He's much better. He's not nearly as frenetic as he was, and I can see now why they did it. We were all pretty much on his case in the beginning, but he's done a good job.
I have a question. So what about Texas? They're saying, we lost 3 games. One was to Ohio State. It was not a conference game. We should be in the tournament.
I think they have a good argument.
They do.
The problem is Vandy won, right? So other teams have won.
Alabama won.
Out of them, yeah.
It's Alabama, Georgia.
But, they make a big deal about it's who you beat. Then why even bother scheduling? Like, if Michigan didn't play Oklahoma, then they'd have 2 losses, right? They'd be in the conversation, which is absurd.
Texas beat A&M, Vandy, and Oklahoma.
Oh, I know.
I mean, that's a little different.
I know, but they also lost to Florida.
Well,
Michigan.
I think those 3 wins are pretty huge.
Yeah, but why schedule Ohio State? Then they'd have 2 losses, and everybody would be all for them getting in. That's the point. That's the point. Like, why bother scheduling these tough games if you're going to get penalized if you lose?
Well, they haven't not made it yet. So
I think you got to understand.
I don't see
that Texas and Ohio State don't do that. It's the networks that decide who's going to play where for the most money. That's how that happens. But anyway, the JV game last night at Ford Field. Pardon me, with all due respect to the Spartans, but you sent me a picture. I watched. I said I'm going to force myself to watch the first quarter of this game. It seemed like
no one there.
No, it just seemed like the high school finals at Ford Field, where you got the parents and the brothers and sisters and about 15,000 people in a
except less relatives showed up for the Michigan State game.
I think so. But Jonathan Smith won. He finally wins a game, and today he gets fired.
Oh, they won last night?
They won.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
The battle of the winless teams. They beat Maryland. There's 2 0-8 teams.
What was the final score?
38-28.
10, yeah.
Okay.
Alessio looked good. They looked okay. But, of course, who are they playing? So what is Michigan State going to do? A lot of people feel they're going to hire Pat Fitzgerald, who would be a good choice.
He's always the first name that pops up there.
He coached.
I can't believe he hasn't gone somewhere yet.
I'd hire him in a second. I can't believe Northwestern fired him.
Yeah, it was over wasn't it over
hazing?
Hazing,
yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And he won his lawsuit. He's been vindicated.
Yeah. Anyway,
he went there. He was a great player. He was a great coach.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he get the benefit of the doubt? Oh, it was right after me too, and whatever.
Oh God, yeah. I don't know. That's Northwestern's one of those elite schools that obviously had to follow the
the students wanted him
correct
fired.
stuff
The woke students wanted him fired,
right.
Of course.
Nowadays, nobody cares about that shit. Belichick finishes 4-8, loses to his in-state rival NC State.
Wait, Brandon, can you bring up Jordan Hudson? By the way, she was getting some gas yesterday in her cheerleading outfit in her $100,000 Porsche.
Oh.
Look at it. Now, does that make it look creepy as hell that's his girlfriend? Look at her.
It makes you look very unsexy.
She looks 15.
Cheerleader outfit.
She looks anorexic.
She looks like a cunt too. Sorry. She's got that face.
She does. No, she
does. Like that one.
Well, look at her face.
But she also looks 15 years old to me.
Maybe that was harsh. She just looks a little bitchy.
Oh, I'm sorry. She turned in the Porsche for the $100,000 Mercedes. She had a $70,000 Porsche.
She just looks like she's going to say, "We're not talking about that."
That shot you showed me of Belichick, what was it at some cheerleading contest last week?
Yeah.
My God, what's it like to be 50 years older than everybody else in the room? I don't know. Anyway, he's God. The only team.
We're not talking about that.
Forget him. And now Lane Kiffin today is off to LSU. So think of this. These are just wild times in college sports.
Great.
The money just flies everywhere. He's off to LSU. He wanted to coach Ole Miss in the playoff, but Ole Miss doesn't want that because he'll steal all his players he'll recruit him to go to LSU. LSU pays Brian Kelly $53 million to go away and not coach. Now gives Kiffin $100 million to come today.
They're not going to have any money left to pay the players. What are they going to do?
LSU, they'll find.
The fans will pay them.
They'll take it out of state taxes in Louisiana.
These teams. Okay, now Georgia Tech, for example, they wanted a little extra money, so their AD last year, Jay Batt, who is now the AD at Michigan State, said, "You know what? I'm going to sell our game with Georgia Tech to the Mercedes-Benz Dome."
Yeah,
and he sold it there for $10 million.
Sweet.
And so, except of course the kids on campus that don't have cars probably can't go instead of going to Bobby Dodd Stadium.
Who cares? You got more money.
Yeah, nobody cares.
I would argue, are they even on campus right now? Thanksgiving weekend, maybe they don't have many people on campus.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was a smart move. It was a smart move. Now he's gonna.
Well, then they should play every game there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares if anyone attends if you make more money?
There's so much cash and everybody is always begging for more. Vatek is a perfect example, begging for more. But the $1 billion TV deals, the billions in ticket sales, merchandising, private equity wants to invest $2.4 billion into the Big Ten, and Michigan and USC don't even want it but that's how much money. They only want 10% of the TV contract, I think it is, which shows how much it's going to continue to grow. And it's great. And speaking of the money, again, nobody cares. Michigan, I wasn't even aware till this Players Era basketball tourney took place.
Isn't that great?
18 teams. This was in Vegas. $1 million just for showing up.
Yep.
That's like the ultimate participation trophy. Just show up, $1 million. Michigan wins. They got $1 million more for winning. And this is just for the players. And Gonzaga gets $500,000.
Wait, the players get $1 million?
$1 million.
So
$1 million for the play. Just it's a play.
Split 12 ways?
So
or do the
Good
starters
question.
get more?
No.
I don't know. How's it split?
It goes to the collective that works with the universities.
The guys that won the game should get the money.
They are.
I'm sure they are. I'm
They're
sure it's
gonna
going to be dispersed, but there's no way that Charlie May is going to get the same amount as Yaxel Lendenborg.
Which is a great example because, it's probably doled out according to your NIL value. You're representative of that. So here you got Yaxel.
God, he's good.
Oh, he's so damn good. He was going to go into the draft. He would have been a late first round or early second round draft choice. Well, the 30th player, which is late first round, I looked it up, gets $2.7 million a contract. Well, he was going to get that if he made it in the first round. Second round gets a minimum $1.2 million. So Michigan gives him $3 million. They give him $3 million. Now he's probably up to $5 million, which made staying in college an incredible choice for him. And
he gets to play.
This team is I don't want to fall into Maz's trap.
I'm already falling into it. Join me.
Yeah.
This team's really good.
It's the opposite of Maz, who said after the Tigers had a slump, Riley Green and the rest of them got what did he say? Got no shot.
Yeah.
They're dead. They're dead. Well, you could look at Michigan now winning 3 games over good teams. Was it
they murdered them
by 100 points.
That's
points.
crazy.
It's crazy.
By the way, Maz predicted Frank Ragnow would come out of retirement.
He's 0 for 2. Okay.
He did. He tried.
So these other tournaments, like Michigan State won the Fort Myers tournament
too, man.
They're really, really good. We got 2 great teams in this, great basketball team. Then there's the Battle for Atlantis and the Maui Invitation. That were these iconic events that are now getting buried by the fact that this Players Era thing is going to offer more. They're going to expand to 32 teams, which is going to make the others kind of who wants to go to the others, which costs the school money.
Yep. So
it's crazy. There's money everywhere. And you think Michigan fans care that they got that they're giving Yaxel $3 million? No. These 4 transfers they got. Morris Johnson, he's a bull. 7th. It's just very impressive what Michigan has done, but you don't want to get carried away. Yaxel said today when they beat Gonzaga, it's putting the world on notice. We're here to be the best team in the nation, and they could be. Well, now we got to get, of course, to the Lions, and I'm going to start by saying I haven't read any of the reports, haven't listened to any of the whining and doom and gloom on the ticket. I'm sure it's out there. I don't think there's really much about the Lions that remain in question. Right now, they're a mess, injury-ridden. They're the 3rd best team, or they're 3rd and the 3rd best team in their division behind Chicago, which Ben
mighty
Johnson.
Good against Philly.
Oh,
Ben Johnson took his shirt off. He was so psyched.
You know why he took his shirt off?
Well, he thinks he's hot.
Because Wiener's Circle, a Chicago area hot dog restaurant, said if Ben Johnson ever takes his shirt off, they will give free hot dogs to people in Chicago. So on Tuesday, he tore it off.
He begged him to so he could take his shirt off.
Yeah. And so
he's paying for the hot dogs.
But they run for 281 yards against Philly, and the Lions couldn't move the ball at all. So Lions are not
Lions move the ball.
Well, against Philly? No.
Oh, not against Philly. No. Sorry.
So the math is pretty simple. They're 7-5. They got to win 4 out of the last 5 to get to 11-6. And this Dallas game on Thursday is big. Dallas is playing really well. They won 3 in a row. They just beat Philadelphia on Thanksgiving Day. Dak Prescott's having a great year. George Pickens, who they got in trade, is amazing. So I think the Lions will be slight favorites, but that's a tough game to win.
I have 2 problems with the Lions right now. Well, just 2 that I can think of at this moment. Actually, I have many more, but Dan Campbell coaches this team like it's the 2023 or the 2024 team. When it's 4th down, he thinks it's last year's team for some reason. Yeah. It's not.
Yeah.
Maybe he shouldn't be calling plays anymore.
Probably not. The other problem I think is that, and this might be a reach. I feel like their management views their draft picks like the Tigers view their prospects. They want to build all through the draft. It doesn't seem to me they feel they can do it through the draft and not so much by acquiring people. Look at the best teams. A lot of them have free agents that they pick up.
You're right about that, but with the salary cap, if you can get people through the draft, you don't have to pay them as much, and then you can.
Oh, I understand. The Tigers have the same philosophy.
Yeah. Well, alluding to what
it's
you're
different,
saying,
but I just feel like there's things we didn't address, other than our own guys, our own drafted guys.
Well, one of the obvious
put
ones,
out a pile of money
when they got when they got beaten by the Packers, and Micah Parsons was in Jared Goff's face the whole day, although Goff had a decent game. They paid for Micah Parsons. But, in fairness, the Lions had Aiden Hutchinson, who isn't as good as Micah Parsons. He's not as good as Myles Garrett.
Been kind of absent lately.
Been kind of absent. He's a good player, but they didn't get somebody in the opposite end of the line, except for Marcus Davenport, who's always hurt. And so, they have some holes. They truly do. And now you got Amon gets his leg rolled up by Cologne, the center. You got the ragtag offensive line. Ragno doesn't come back, which is kind of a disappointment. I
wonder what the hell is going on there.
I don't get that either.
How could he be okay enough to finish the season last year? 11 months go by, he doesn't do anything. You think he'd be in great shape?
Well, it's the hamstring. Obviously, it didn't heal. I don't know what it takes.
But he thought he could play.
Did he have that injury at the end of last year? The hamstring, or is this something he got while training and trying to come back?
I think he had a bunch of stuff. Injuries. He had shoulders and all that stuff last year.
But he thought he could play. He thought he was going to play in December.
Yeah,
until the physical. And I'm wondering now, the fact that they fail him, that's the Lions failing him. Are they saying, oh?
Well, they're not giving up on the season. We know that. They need him desperately. So,
well, he's not going to play this year.
There's a bit of a mystery there now as to why he couldn't make it back when he thought he could play.
Well, he told him he had a little bit of a hamstring issue, and then Dan Campbell was saying, yeah, we knew it. We had an idea. We just did not know it would be that extensive when they looked at the x-rays or whatever they used to look
I just wonder, could they have passed his physical and said, but he can't play right now? I mean, you check a physical.
Well, what's another week?
Is the physical based on for you to play right now, or is that for you to join our team?
To join our team. And they felt that it would not heal well enough for him to play.
So are they going to sign him for next season?
I guess we don't know that, but they'll decide that in the offseason. I guess if it heals.
That.
I don't know. Part of me feels like he wouldn't have this hamstring injury had they won on Thanksgiving. I don't know.
No, I think they
no, because
I thought the same thing.
But
Brandon.
they disclosed it before.
They're more desperate now than they were.
But they've been talking like he's coming back against the Rams. I mean, that's in stone. They've been saying that.
Yeah.
Shouldn't they have done the physical first? Maybe.
Well, I don't know how that works.
I think he had to decide. I don't know what the rules are or why, but he had to decide that he was going to unretire by the last Wednesday. So,
in any case, they're in trouble.
A little out of order there.
They're in trouble. They're too top. If
I think he wanted to play. I think the Lions wanted him. He's just injured.
Well, I just don't understand how he could be okay to play at the end of last season and believe that he's going to play December the 14th.
Are you building a conspiracy theory here?
No, I'm trying to understand what the hell happened. Why does he think he can play? And they say, oh, fuck no.
Well, maybe they think that the hamstring and the condition it's in will snap again and he'll be out again and they'll have to pay him for the rest of the season. That sounds like a logical choice. If they feel that injury is not healed enough, then it's going to get worse.
They sound like he couldn't even suit up against the Rams.
Yeah, they said he wouldn't be available for the rest of the year, period.
You're also talking about $30 million over the, to fit in under the salary cap. That might be difficult.
That's what I just think that physical, I wonder if that's the only thing they didn't like.
They wanted him back. He can't play. They got they're down their top two receivers. They're tight ends. I mean, they got third and fourth string tight ends, Tom Kennedy and the other guy.
Hey, Kennedy played great.
I love Tom Kennedy.
I love that.
JMO stepped up. JMO had a great game.
JMO was good. Although that one drop that just drove you insane. Drew.
Well,
at 2 weeks in a row, he had huge drops.
That ball was behind him.
It was behind him, but Dan Campbell said, you got to catch that. Dan Campbell
said, you
got to catch it.
Yeah.
It's, JMO had a decent game, but it's the Lions are 0 for 2 on fourth down. The first one was they just ran Gibbs into the line, which seemed unimaginable.
They ran 4 straight times.
Yeah, that seemed
at the center of the field.
And the Green Bay's 3 for 3 on fourth down, so you can even look at that as being the difference in that game.
That's what Dan Campbell said after the game. The difference in the game was fourth down, and that's when I thought, yeah, because you think this is last year's team. You can't pass up a field goal like that. Yeah. That's crazy.
Green Bay's better than they are at this point. The Bears are better than they are. They got to play at LA. They got to play at Chicago, and they host Dallas. So they got to win 4 out of 5. It can happen. I don't know what the odds are on it, but not good. I
think they're at 40% chance of making the playoffs. If they lose Thursday, it's down to 17.
Yeah.
Who knows how they decide that.
I'm not sure why.
By the way, the Lions really got screwed on 2 big plays on Thanksgiving. One, the review of the touchdown, the first touchdown the Packers had.
Yeah.
I watched it again and again, Drew. I don't know in what world that's a catch.
Mark, I was sure they were calling that. I thought there's no way they're not overturning that. There's just no way.
The ball moves, and he's not moving it from one hand to the other. The guy hits him, and the ball moves. And they called the second foot down. The very first touchdown.
Yeah, the second foot was not in the end zone, but they're saying no, that foot was down previously.
That's
but
right.
he had
But
not
the ball
possessed
moved.
the ball.
The ball moved after
I know.
that one I didn't understand. But the more absurd one to me is they called timeout before the false start.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And to read the pool report where the official just kept saying, "Well, we thought the timeout came before the penalty. We thought he said it 3 times in the pool report." It's like, but it didn't. Don't gaslight me. I saw the video of him running down the sideline.
He may have been yelling it.
Well, his face was
not
behind,
good enough.
was behind
When-
the card. So he's going, timeout! Timeout!
When has a coach covered his face calling timeout? That's not a thing.
Yeah. And
You
then
don't do
then
that.
Goff
You want people to hear when you're calling timeout.
And Goff got sacked after that, and they had to kick a field goal and made a difference. So should be
But
interesting.
they shouldn't have. I mean, unfortunately, they were in that position. They had 10 yards in the first quarter, I think. I mean, no offense
that
whatsoever.
first quarter,
I understand that,
had
but those
10
2
yards,
plays
right.
were big.
10 yards in the first quarter. You could tell right then it was going to be a long day. And Green Bay's just a better team. You can tell they were just
The stats were very comparable, though.
They were.
Yardage and
I'm
everything.
surprised how comparable they were because we had no pressure on Love, no pressure, and they had pressure on us all game.
He threw 4 touchdown passes, though. That's the difference. Although
Because he had all day to throw.
Goff's quarterback rating was actually a little bit higher. He played well, but not good. Oh boy,
You're so screwed.
Well, next week's
And
gonna
we
be
didn't run the ball well either. If you take away Goff's 24-yard run, I think we had 96 yards.
I forgot about his
Goff
run.
had a 24-yard
That run
run.
was so exciting.
Scramble, yeah.
It took forever.
He went back in bounds too. He's about to go out and he stayed
I
in.
know.
Tesla looked good. He had made 2 nice catches. Maybe they should throw to him a little bit more. Maybe they will.
And another touchdown because that's all he does.
Yeah, I don't
Catch
think
touchdowns.
Amon-Ra being out is a good enough excuse because J-Mo can pick up. He can pick up yardage. Kennedy's a good player. If their
Who else they
offensive
got?
line was playing well, I wouldn't worry.
But Khalif Raymond
It would
hurt,
have. Hey, I was
receiver.
Say, yeah,
Who
help
else
have
they had?
Raymond back.
But Raymond, Laporta, St. Brown. Without those 3, what do you?
It's pretty big.
What do you have?
Pretty big.
Well,
You got Tom Kennedy and
Tom
J-Mo.
Kennedy.
we used to think our running backs could bail us out.
They have.
Sometimes.
It's
Sometimes
a tough league. Last year, Minnesota 14-3. They're crap now. Washington 12-5. They're crap now. Ravens 12-5. They're crap now. Chiefs 15-2. They're basically out of it. It's very, very. I'm not making excuses for them, but it's very, very tough to sustain 3 years in a row.
What is the biggest mystery about? See, I expected them to maintain a pretty good team. The schedule is really tough. It's tougher than it didn't seem as tough after last season. After watching them play the last 2 years, I just thought, oh, they'll get 11 or 12 wins out of this somehow. But what's the bigger mystery to you, the defensive line or the offensive line?
The defensive line. That's a good question.
Probably the defensive line
because they're pretty much intact. They got McNeil back. They got Hutch. But the guys like Muhammad that played well last year just aren't that
He's
good.
not playing well.
Oh,
Yeah, so-
that mystery.
Is McNeil playing as well as you thought he would?
Yeah, and
Okay.
they did add Lopez, which that guy's been
He's
really
pretty
good
good.
for where he came from.
And they got their defensive backs are back. You know,
But
Terry-
That there is the biggest mystery.
yeah, except
They're
for
all-
Kirby
they-
Joseph.
I think they only have one starter out now, right?
yeah,
Joseph.
Yeah,
And yet they seem to be way worse.
Yeah, these balls that are in the air for 10 minutes and somehow they end up being
You're talking
receptions.
about the pass by Jameis Winston. That was in the
reception,
air.
yeah.
2 of them. He had 2
It
ridiculous.
was like a major league pop up.
But Love had a long bomb
Yeah,
down the right sideline that just beat Robertson. Was it Robertson that got beat on that?
yeah. Right after they said how much Campbell loves Meek Robertson. So it'll be a very interesting week next week. The winter meetings are taking place in baseball.
I just want to say one more thing about the
Go
Lions.
ahead.
I think their luck sucks this year too.
Yeah.
Their karma's been really bad.
Mhm.
I mean, not only have they not played as well as we'd like them to, I think they've had some pretty bad luck. The calls on, you know, I know Dan Campbell doesn't want to blame the referees, but there's just been a lot of balls bouncing weird, and I don't know. It just seems like they've had bad luck.
I would agree with that.
And they had really good luck the last couple of years.
Well, that's all part of it, I guess.
Sure.
Well, somewhere Tarek Skubal and Scott Boras are smiling when they see the money being thrown around for pitchers. Red Sox traded for Sonny Gray. You know, he'll wind up making $41 million next year. It's
41 for 1 year?
Well, he
was
supposed to only make 30, but there's something about the Cardinals paying part of it. And he's a 1 year rental, and he's at best a number 2 starter. The Jays signed Dylan Cease, 7 years, $210 million. He's coming off an 8-12, 455 season with a Padres playoff team. But
7 years for 210 for Dylan Cease.
Yeah, he's durable. He's had a couple of good seasons, but and he's also a year older than Skubal. So we'll see whether they're. I just can't see the Tigers going into the season. If they're going to hope to win this year, how can they go into the season without him? So we'll see what happens. It's going to be very, very interesting.
If they're going to go and say, you know what, we got a Cy Young Award winner for $18 million this year, that's a hell of a bargain. Wouldn't you think they would surround him with something? Right. Wouldn't they spend some money on other things?
Yes, you would.
And go, we're going all in this year. Why not?
Max Scherzer.
Justin Verlander. Mike Ilitch used to go all in every year.
I know. He would pay the price, whatever it took. He'd shake his head. I remember when he signed Cecil Fielder 5 years, $36 million. He goes, I don't even know why he's got an agent. That's the going rate. I have to give it to him anyway. So the agent gets 5%. Anyway, I'm surprised you guys didn't bring this up the other day about another Georgia violation. Did you guys bring that up?
The speeding one, another speeder. This story it's bizarre
wild.
How he got pulled over.
It wasn't until 2023 when the whole Jalen Carter thing made people aware of all the criminals playing for Georgia. Dozens and dozens of guys arrested for reckless driving, but this one where Jalen Carter, who would have been a number 1, 2, or 3 draft pick, fell down to 9, was driving a car at 100 miles an hour, and 2 people died when they were racing each other. By then, Kirby
he left the scene too.
He left the scene, right?
Women returned to the scene and lied 2 hours later. Also,
at that time, we didn't realize it. 11 players were accused of some form of abuse by various women, but just this week. This one, it has to be an incident kind of beyond belief to make the list of Georgia's long criminal activities. Offensive lineman Nair Daniels, driving more than 150 miles an hour with 2 his siblings in the car while attempting to flee police. He faced a dozen charges, 2 felony counts, secondary cruelty to children. His
these younger kids,
his brothers.
Siblings, yeah.
But here's why it gets crazy. At the time he was racing, Daniel's mom had been stopped for running a stop sign. He blows past his mom and the cop going more than 100 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour speed zone.
Yep. God.
So the officer leaves the mom's car to pursue Daniels. She purposely blocks the car of another officer on the scene before herself taking off at 100 miles an hour, calling her daughter, one of the siblings, in Nair's BMW, say, stop running from the police and bring your asses back to Commerce. She was charged with a felony count. So finally, a Georgia Athletics Department official.
Wait. Who said to bring your ass back?
The mom.
I thought she was blocking the cop.
Well, she did, but then she took off and was driving 100 miles an hour trying to catch them and called the daughter in the car and said, get your asses back to Commerce.
I guess mom knows best.
Make up your mind, Mom. You're blocking the cops. You're trying to let them get away, and now you're telling them to come back. That's a mixed message.
It's just a very sad story. We're laughing about it because it's so pathetic. But
in the last 4 years, the University of Georgia has had over 60 moving violations, speeding, reckless driving.
But look at all the games they've won.
No, you're exactly right. Nobody cares. They're playing for they won 2 championships.
No, people have died.
Nobody cares. They don't care.
No, it's like Me Too. We care so much about women, and then they have 10 alleged sexual assaults, and nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Because they run fast and they block hard.
Just win, baby. So anyway, he comes in the next day. The Georgia official convinced him to turn himself in. So he goes to turn. So
he had to play.
The officer all opens the car and immediately smelled the odor of marijuana emitting from the vehicle.
What was he smoking pot in the car, driving himself in to turn himself in?
The officer tried to explain the severity of the situation, what might have happened if Daniel and his younger siblings were traveling at those speeds, how dangerous it could be. And all Daniel said was the cops pursuing goes, y'all can't drive. In other words, they couldn't catch him. Y'all can't drive.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So because he's such a good driver, they weren't in danger.
Yeah. It's just very, very.
Well, when you tell 18-year-olds they're never wrong and they're so great, this is what happens.
Right. And I think the saddest thing is that football was his way out. He made the Georgia team. He was second string, but he's a young player.
Well, they didn't kick him off the team, did they?
Yes, they did.
What? He must not be very good.
Immediately kicked him off the team.
He's a backup.
He was a backup.
Plus, they just
he's not a starter.
this history of players messing up,
right? So
but if he was a wide receiver with 1,200 yards receiving, they would not have kicked him off.
Probably.
I don't know. Maybe they would have suspended him until the championship game.
With or without pay.
And there's always the portal.
What's interesting is that, and this is again how old I am, I remember a day and age where nobody criticized athletes. It was all about, heroic stylings, the Four Horsemen of Notre Dame, etc. When I was a kid,
people eaters,
JFK was banging women after women in the White House. Nobody wrote about it. The celebrities were protected by the police, protected by the media, and it gradually changed over time. I think with, I don't say social media before that, TMZ and all that, but we didn't hear about all that stuff.
But that's what's fucked up, Eli, is that now we tell you what they did, but we don't punish them. Right.
Because everybody is so used to it right now that nothing seems amazing anymore. I remember when I was in Michigan in the early 70s, I mean, I knew I knew all about the drug abuse. I knew all about the speeding violation, but the Ann Arbor police protected the team. They would go tell Bo, we caught this guy doing this and that, and they would handle it internally. Now, I guess with cameras everywhere, nothing is hidden. You got a whole industry about criticizing celebrity people, which one thing you guys do very good job at.
Thank you.
That's just what it's come to.
I don't think the players are afraid of the coaches either. I think there was a fear of Bo. They respected Bo. They didn't want to let Bo down. So they might actually listen, when they made their way around the police, but they had to deal with Bo. That might mean something to them.
I'm sure. The
players are bigger than the coaches.
I just don't know there's much of a deterrent anyways, because what's a bigger deterrent than possibly losing any kind of NIL money?
Yeah.
Right? But they still are fucking up.
But you have to, you have to murder somebody to lose NIL money.
This kid, though, it's all there for him. He's on the Georgia team. He's making some money. He's driving a BMW. And to do something stupid like that and ruin, maybe after a year, somebody else will pick him up and he can start again. I don't know.
I saw a shot of the, I don't remember if it was Oklahoma football. It was one of the good Southwest teams that somebody was talking to a reporter in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And the players were just been dismissed from a meeting or whatever. And to see the cars pulling out of there was like, Mercedes, BMW, beautiful SUVs. Like, wow.
Remember when the Michigan players in the 80s had the early 90s had the fancy cars in the parking lot with the whole Ed Martin thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so, Fuzzy Zeller died this week, and Fuzzy Zeller was a really entertaining, one of the few golfers with real personality. The media loved him. He talked a lot. He gave you colorful stuff. And during the 97 Masters, when Tiger was winning his first tournament, Fuzzy was out of the tournament. He had a couple of drinks. He's standing outside talking to reporters and made this comment that haunted him for the rest of his life.
He's doing quite well. Pretty impressive. Little boy's driving it well, and he's putting well. He's doing everything it takes to win. So you know what you guys do when he gets in here? Pat him on the back, say congratulations, enjoy it, and tell him not to serve fried chicken next year. Got it.
Here.
Or collard greens, or whatever the hell they serve.
He's a jokester.
I'm a jokester.
I think he could have gotten away with the fried chicken because you know what he served that year? He served chicken sandwiches, cheeseburgers, French fries, and milkshakes. So he served basically soul food anyway.
Okay, I have a question, though. I read the headlines when he died. Fuzzy Zeller dies at 74, haunted by racist joke.
Yeah.
He was haunted by that joke till his death?
Yes.
Haunted?
Yes.
Really? He couldn't proceed with life?
Oh, I'm not saying, listen, we all go on whether we're haunted or not.
No, it was a dumb joke, but is it really, there was no forgiveness for that? He could not be forgiven?
I think he apologized profusely many, many times, but it always came up. It's just something you can't erase. You can't unsee. You can't unremember.
And it should be the first thing in his obit. I mean, it was the headline
I know.
of
It's unfortunate
most.
because he was a good golfer. He won big tournaments. I think he won the Masters one year, didn't he? Or did he lose to
So
Greg Norman?
Will Tiger's headline be haunted by, banging chicks?
Yeah.
No, because that's not
Crashing
racist.
a car.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Well, why is
How come
Tiger
no one's
not
talking
haunted? Why is he haunted and Tiger isn't haunted?
Are we supposed to explain society? It's the way it is, man.
I just don't.
Why are we
believe-
hearing about Fuzzy Zeller's vodka that he sold for years?
Yeah,
I'm not
He
saying-
did.
I just don't believe he was haunted by that joke for the rest of his life.
Well, it was a constant. Let's put it this: a constant annoyance that always came up.
Sure, didn't he double down when they interviewed him like the next week? He's like, I'm just a jokester.
Yeah.
That's when he said,
Yeah,
I'm a
he snapped
jokester.
his fingers
Yeah.
again. I
Well,
think.
yeah,
because we
again.
used to play that.
Yeah, that's well, he
I'm a
snapped his
jokester.
finger in that.
That was really before political correctness got wild too. But it was that 20?
I refuse to
97,
believe he was
20?
haunted on his deathbed. Oh my God, I'm haunted by that joke.
And now he's haunted in heaven reading the newspaper reports.
It was a dumb joke, but I mean,
I think the collard greens did him in. That was it. He turned around and said collard greens.
it was
He could have
stupid, but really,
just not said collard greens. He might have not been haunted for the last 30 years of his life.
But listen, what Tiger Woods did is a lot worse. He nailed. Look at all the chicks he was nailing while he was married.
Those are consensual.
Nobody cares
That was his
anymore.
one thing with Tiger Woods.
That's a good one. Why? How
Well,
come?
maybe he will be haunted. He hasn't died yet.
Drew,
You
in
know?
2008, so you're talking 11 years later, he was haunted by it because he said the worst thing I've gone through in my entire life was what he said.
Yeah.
But was he haunted by it, or was he
Doesn't
just
sound like
reflecting on the past?
Just seems like what he went through. Like he's a victim from what he said. Said if people wanted me to feel the same hurt I projected on others, I'm here to tell you they got their way. I've cried many times. I've apologized countless times for words said in jest, because I'm a jokester, that just aren't a reflection of who I am. I have hundreds of friends, including people of color, who will attest that some of my best friends are
They're
black.
Oh boy, that'll get you. That'll get you.
Okay, were people?
I mean, that sucks that that's what he's remembered for.
I'm asking this seriously. How hurt do you think people were by that?
Nobody was hurt. People just
No.
jumped on him. I mean,
I know, but he said, I hope that my hurt was as bad as their hurt. Like people are really hurt.
well,
The
just
PGA is probably the most hurt because there's a lot of people going, oh, that thing's racist. I'm not watching that.
yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't think any individuals hurt.
I don't know. Do you think people really
Well-
didn't watch the Masters that year?
There might be
No,
some.
no. Are you kidding? It was probably
There might be
record
some.
with Tiger winning by I
They
think
would
the
skip
largest
the
margin,
Masters
largest
over a
margin in
joke?
history. Right? Nobody won by more. I think he won by 18 strokes or something. It was the all-time. It still holds.
I just can't imagine skipping the Masters because some dipshit made a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a dumb joke. It was a racist joke.
What?
But
What?
skip the Masters?
Nobody
If
would
you were
skip
really a fan?
No, nobody.
I
would
bet
skip-
Tiger's dad watched.
No, nobody skipped the Masters because of that. That's absurd.
Cultita watched. She's black. Oh, no, she's Asian. That's right.
What if he has instead said, just ask him whether he's going to have pad thai and Todd Munn appetizer and some curry.
Oh, jeez.
Would that have gotten? Would that have done the same? Because he's half Thai, right?
Yeah. No, it would not have had the same effect.
Not
No,
the same
no,
effect.
No.
All right. Hey, it's rare that a person my age has 20/20 vision up close, far away, and everything in between, but I do. It's because 7 years ago, I got bifocal lens implants from Dr. Yaldo. No more reading glasses for me. My far vision dialed in just as precisely and eliminated the cataracts that was accompanying my unfortunate advancing age. But the 7 years since that fast and painless procedure, the technology is even better for these bifocal implants. People in their mid-40s and beyond throwing away their contacts, glasses, and readers, enjoying the best eyesight of their lives, something they hadn't suspected was even possible. For nearly half a century, senior citizens have been getting single-focus lens implants to replace their cataracts. These bifocals are a major level beyond. So if you're younger, maybe custom LASIK will solve your vision issues. You won't know unless you try. Sign up for a free evaluation at yaldoweyecenter.com. It's that easy.
Get out of here.
All right.
Eli, you didn't want to see a highlight of Trump